Hello Libra, it's Lorene from Insight Readings with your insights for the month of 20. Thank you so much for the comments, for the likes, and for your subscriptions. They're free and it's such a gift to me. Thank you for that. My gift to you is your reading, and your gift to me is the subscription and the listening and the comments, the views. It really helps to grow the channel, and I'm forever grateful for that. Thank you. With that said, I'm going to go straight into our reading and call upon spirit guides, source, higher self and God, please to be present, to give me clarity of mind, wisdom and discernment to hear the messages from spirit that Libra need to hear. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your presence. Thank you, Spirit. Amen. Okay, so as usual, the reading will be slightly different, but by now you're used to the change up every month. And also just to remember that it is a general reading. Check your rising sign, your sun sign, or your moon sign, and something should resonate out there. If it doesn't, it's not for you. Then leave it. Okay, so we're going to start off with a spirit message from the spirit guide, your animal spirit guides, and see what that is for Libra. Tiger! Wow, Libra. Wow. Okay, so it says, you've been called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. I mean, if you look at this tiger here, I mean, the tiger is one of the biggest cats of the cat kingdom. They stealthy, they lone, you know, they're not like the lion in packs. They lead their lives, they're a solitary animal, but very powerful, very strong, very focused. Stealth seems to come to mind here. I'm going to read that from the book. What an opening. Okay, so it says, being an effective and compassionate leader requires that you know the art of balancing yin and yang, discerning when to balance and when to yield. When to advance and when to yield, and pay attention to the subtleties and the flow of the group process, while simultaneously staying attuned to your own intuitive advice. Whether your role as a leader applies to your family, friends, employees, or a nation, you must listen to those around you and respond to their needs with strength and compassion. And when you deem it necessary, you need to follow your own sensibilities, even though others disagree with you. To the best of your ability, make your decisions based on what you determine to be for the greatest good, rather than catering to self-serving needs. You know, Libra, I think that is one of the main things about the sign of Libra, is to get that balance, to be diplomatic, for justice, you know, for all. You are a cardinal sign, and this reads so into it, you know, decisions based on what you determine to be for the greatest good rather than catering to self-serving needs. Fear and doubt may arise at times, but don't let them deter you from your purpose. The best leaders aren't perfect, but they're willing to take calculated risks based on their own convictions and passionate desire to do the right thing. On occasion you stumble or even fall, but don't let that impede the acceptance of the leadership you called to provide. Others are looking to you for guidance. Don't let it go to your head, but do let it go to your heart. That's the thing about karmic justice and being balanced, is the balance between head and heart, you know, and it's not easy. We live in a material world. So the associations are sensuality, passion, independence, confidence, clairvoyance, mysticism, intuition, power, agility, gracefulness, loyalty, intensity, devotion, focus, patience, stealth, healing, vitality, regeneration, adventure, challenge, tactility, and sexuality. I mean, is that not amazing associations with the tiger? And a lot of that, I can absolutely just feel the essence in Libra as they've closed off a cycle and moving into this new cycle. So with a lot of tiger power and energy. Remember, this is for the month of November. Readings are only for a month. I don't do the weekly or daily readings. I just don't have the time. And I feel that a reading, I think it's just too soon. I'm not slamming anybody that does. But for me, this is what works for me, is monthly reading. And it is general. So put it in the situation you find yourself currently in. Okay, so we're going to do the 7-card horseshoe spread and see where we go with that. The Spirit, what is the message for Libra for 20? Thank you. Want to see. Okay. Starting off with the Emperor, I mean, that's stability. Okay, so that is past and passing, but it can be your base as well. The Emperor, you could be dealing with an Aries, but the Emperor is normally about authority figures, people that are in power. The Emperor takes care of the greater good. He runs the city, the country, not just the household. He's an emperor after all. And he defends what he believes is fair and right. He has the eagle, the symbol of the eagle on his shield, because he has this focus from on high to see the greater picture or the bigger picture and to bring stability there. They can be a bit authoritative, but it's always for a reason, to bring stability in. It is a major arcana card as well. So in this deck, it's called the Steampunk deck. It's that old Victorian style. You see a lot of metal work here. So Mars, you know, the Emperor is the card of Aries, and Mars is in Aries for 6 months. I just want to see what house that is for you. Your 7th house. Okay, so relationship changes for sure, and stability being brought in there with other people, whether it's work, home, intimate relationship, whatever it is. It's other people, it's you versus the others, and there's lots of stability being built there, but noble, you know, noble, with a lot of passion, a lot of change, really, really beautiful energy. Okay, so what is currently happening for Libra? Okay, so we've got in the recent past and passing, or for the month of Libra, the stability. Then we move on to our next card. What is the energy that flows from that currently? The ending of something. So this is a definite ending of a relationship, ending of a relationship with an authority figure, with a person possibly. You know, the Emperor also rules governments and the higher ups, the higher up authority figures, like the big businesses, the big corporates as well. But here's a definite ending of something. We see this figure here with the raven that brings the news. You're down to the bare bones of a situation. We see this hand in an X-ray here. You see through the material side of being human. You see beneath beneath the cloak of humanity, and see the bare bones of what there is, the structure of the way the structure is. And there's a surrender. There's a sense of surrender with a white rose there. And then, of course, the skull signifies death. And with death, there is this rising of something new. You know, nothing can start without something ending. And it's a definite crossover here for something to start, because something's ending here completely. And the number of the Emperor is the number of death is 10, which is actually a 4 as well. So there is stability here. And the change is now finalized as we go through. The skull also signifies death, obviously. But here we have this ruby here, because there's this bright newness coming through, something brand new. It is the card of Scorpio as well. It is a general reading, so I'll bring the signs in, but it needn't mean anything. Okay, so there is a finality of something. It's 2 major arcanas already. The first 2 cards drawn, so a significant change for Libra. And I always say that the cardinal signs with what is happening and the planet's alignment, the cardinal signs are the ones that are affected the most, with the biggest changes that are happening, because we have Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter all in a cardinal sign, in Capricorn. So the changes are coming from the cardinal signs. Oh, of course, then we have Mars in Aries, which is also a cardinal sign. So there we are. Okay, coming up next, okay, Nine of Bees, which is a card of anxiety and conflict and insomnia, not being able to sleep, but it's the ending of a cycle, 9. So whatever has been possibly difficult and is coming to an end, it causes a lot of anxiety, where you can't see past your mind. Your mind revolves around in circles because you have all these thoughts in your minds, but it's your own thoughts of things that have happened that have been difficult, because it's swords energy, but it is your own energy, Libra. You are the swords. You have that clarity of mind. But in the Nine of Swords, besides it being a standalone number, something you're doing on your own, and the card of insomnia, not being able to sleep, this anxiety is basically caused by the thoughts in your mind. Because you obviously the moon as well, saying that the anxiety is stingy. We have all these bees here. They're stingy. And the choice here, we see 2 swords in this card. The choice here is to get the balance. We see 4 bees on each side, which is the 8, the past and present, just flowing. But here's the odd one out. So turn that into the leader. Make it the leader. Make the choice to lead your mind into more balance as you move forward with intuition, because Libra, you are cardinal sign. There's this intuition, and it's come out in the tiger as well. To take the leadership in your own mind, to move forward in what you're doing as you end the cycle, significant cycle, and move forward in a brave, courageous way with Aries energy, Mars energy. Okay, so it could be that a Scorpio is creating a lot of anxiety, or an Aries created the anxiety, you've put an end to it, and you're still going through the throes of it. The dark night of the soul, should I, shouldn't I? You know, all the things that we do as human beings. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's life. It's called the University of Life, and we live it. What is Spirit? What is the message from Spirit? Okay. 6 of Dragonflies. This is something that is from your past, that you've been dealing with for quite some time. I mean, you have 9 of Swords, you have Major Arcana, and yeah, you have 6 of Dragonflies, which is basically the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is always about something from the past, where your cups were full. Something nostalgic, something you dream about, where you were once happy, but it's in the past. Your childhood home, your old stomping grounds, where you had fun, an old relationship that you might have had. The Spirit says there's a sense of nostalgia about it. But in this deck, it's actually quite beautiful, because dragonflies, I love them so much, are around the 2 cups. And I think this could be a relationship, because you have 2 swords, so there's a decision that is made. 2 cups, that was possibly a relationship and a partnership. We have your 7th house that has Mars in it, which, yeah, there's significant change in a partnership, very much so. Yeah, whether it be at work or at home or with a family member, because it's about the other. There's change, but you know, 3 and 3 is always about growth, and there's 6 dragonflies on this card with the 2 cups. So the choice to be happy, the choice to remove that was difficult, now to be happy, that's what Spirit is saying, is brought balance here. The dragonfly is a creature that if something comes in front of its path when it's flying, whatever it is, it can change its direction in a second and then follow on course, and just go wherever it's going. It doesn't just stop and stall and freeze and fall apart. No, it has the stealth, the courage to move on, and let it be. Just let it be. Okay, what is hidden that you're not even aware of in your reading? What is hidden? Another major arcana, Judgment. So this was a karmic relationship, a karmic situation, and the Judgment is another major arcana. 20, again another 2 there. There's something that has definitely changed here. We see the angel and we see the tombstones in the background. So something from the long gone past. You heard the angel, the calling, the second chance to rise up as the butterfly here, to reach for something new, something on high. It's the card of death and rebirth, rising up out of this darkness. I mean, there's the tombstone, coming out of the darkness into the light, to live life anew. The butterfly is, the worm in the chrysalis has come out. You're no longer in that entombed state, in the cocoon. It's bright and beautiful. I hope you can see that. And the other thing about the Judgment card is, besides it being a karmic card, if it is a legal situation, it is a judgment that's very positive as well. So this can very much be a situation in that sense, but it's something that lasts for a long time, because it is the card basically of for me, Saturn. And Saturn sets things in stone. We see the stone angel here, death. So something that will last for a long, long time. The change is significant. The change will last, and you're not even aware of this because it's in the area of hidden. But it is closure of a karmic cycle. All right. What is the hope, the fear, the challenge, the desire? Another major arcana. So this is the High Priestess. This is the card of the knowing, the inner knowing. Again, we see this woman, this picture of a woman, a silhouette, and on the other side, the mirrored image. So it's as if she's looking at herself and saying, I'm no longer that. I'm different. He, she, whoever. It's a general reading. I'm no longer that. That's a mirrored image of me. This is who I am. This is the color that I want. This is, I'm now not just a reflection. I am who I am. The High Priestess has knowledge. She has the book of knowledge. She works with inner wisdom and intuition. This purple is intuition. So she has an inner knowing within her. And she played the game of chess. We see this checkers chessboard at the back here. And she did the right thing. Balanced. Two. A choice that is made. Significant change here between you and the other. Once again, in the background, so in the past, an intuitive decision or choice, an archway, a doorway that you went through or came through by the moon, by intuition. Normally in this major arcana card, we see the High Priestess with the curtain behind, the veil, and there's something that is behind. Not in this deck. There's no veil here. There's no veil here. You've seen the other side. You've seen the intuition. You've received the knowledge, because she's not holding the Torah rolled up in her hand. The book is open here. Intuition is lying in there. It's in your lap. And here, the pomegranates, which is about abundance, are in the chandeliers, completely burst open. So there's enlightenment here that has come through in a significant way. And that was the challenging part. But you have that now. You have that. Your desire is for this growth, for this enlightenment. But it's also the card of the psychic, the intuitive intuition growing. It's a major arcana. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7 cards that are major arcana already. And let's see what the outcome is of all of this. There we have the 5 of Pentacles. That is definitely a sense of loss, a sense of being left out, a sense of cutting out, a sense of having to make a change because of the 5. And we see these beetles scurrying around here, and he's got a bite out of him, he's got a bite out of him. They all have a bite out of them. So something is taken out of something that was physical, possibly property, money, and yes, with COVID, probably salaries, or you know, if there is a settlement, there's a little bite that's out of it. It's not complete. But you know, the beetle is a very strong little creature, and they can carry the load. The change can come about. They can carry the load. Never mind if it's a half a loaf. At least they can carry it and make the change in a very tangible, earthy way, because Pentacles is earthy energy. So the change can be made, even though it might be challenging or a bit difficult. The beetle can carry the load, and in this background here we see orange, and that's creative energy, fire energy, and I do believe that that can come through with Mars. So I'm going to close this reading with a tree angel oracle card and read that from the book for you, Libra, just as closure. What is the message for Libra? All right, and there we have okay, field maple, and in major arcana is the temperance card, which is blending fire and ice, or fire and water, to make your brew, you know. Okay, so the field maple. Okay, so the field maple is the field maple grows modestly in the landscape while going about its work quietly. Are you familiar with it? Do you know what it leaves and fruits, what its fruits look like? Most of us would have to answer no, but this is precisely its message: to serve without expecting reward or recognition. We must simply do what needs to be done, because work is love made manifest. The person who brings themselves into resonance with the field maple starts to demonstrate qualities such as foresight, honesty, reliability, common sense, efficiency, and good organizational abilities, among others. And don't you have that, Libra, with that analytical mind of yours? So socially, this means good management, fair work practices and remuneration, teamwork and job sharing, or simply knuckling down to whatever has to be done. So now it's time to put down this book, stop looking at the pretty cards, and roll up our sleeves. So if we cut ourselves off from the influence of the field maple, we start to sink under the weight of unfinished work. This is the yin side of the maple. These cards have a yin and yang. Although it may not bother us, since we have probably fallen asleep in front of the television again, occasionally we feel overwhelmed or like running away, and we rapidly distract ourselves from the task at hand. On a social level, evils such as I'm not even going to say the word, exploitation and moral disintegration set in. Accumulating on a global level, they accelerate the ecological crisis because the inert and well-established older generations steal the future from the younger generation and from all other life forms and ecosystems. So this is absolutely the yin and yang. This is a Libra energy. Both those energies are in there. If you are in the field maple energy, growing modestly on the landscape, you have all this socially good energy of management, fair work practices, and remuneration. But on the other side, it can be the greedy side, the selfish side. This is beautiful. We see all the stars here. So it says here, do it. Get the job done. You have your hands and words, the power and your mind. It's time to act. Weave love into your work and sow the sweetest fruits for tomorrow's children. And isn't that so true, Libra? Is that not so true? This is your energy, the yang side, the soft side. You're not sitting with your eyes shut in front of the TV and running away from responsibility. You've done the hard work, and your karmic blessing comes through. Even though it might be challenging for now, this is only for that. There's big significant change coming through. Thank you, Libra. Thank you again for your support.